how do you understand how big a market is to expand to multiple locations, right? So you guys went from Richmond to Norfolk. You did Norfolk, and I think the idea was to do multiples immediately. But like, how do you kind of look at the numbers that you have and say, yeah, we think that we can expand to Newport News, to Virginia Beach, and to maybe other places as well? Like, how do you gauge that? Because I think any business would want to expand if the numbers look right. Like, are there certain key metrics that you guys are looking at to say, hey, like, we know that this area can handle this or is looking for it, or how do you kind of judge that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we looked at the overall population of Hampton Roads and in a way considered that, just like Richmond is considered one big area, we also considered Hampton Roads one large area, but then also looked at what cities we thought could handle having a gather in them. So our goal was to open at least 3, maybe 4 down the road, depending on how things progress. But we look at the overall population of an area, and then we make sure that we could open a cluster of gathers, because the benefit is you might have your home office in Virginia Beach, but you do a lot of business in Newport News. And so we want you to have that meeting space and event space and have all of those amenities. So we'd like to open 3 to 4 in each area that we go to.
So was there any kind of like next line data point that you look at, like amount of home businesses in a specific area, type of leases that are coming up? Was there any other data other than just the population that went into stuff?
Yeah, so we look at the population. We also look at the millennial population. We're not just millennials, but we do attract quite a bit of millennials as well. So,
what is a millennial? Oh, this sounds exciting. Never heard about this.
About why we look at the millennial population?
No, what is a millennial?
We're millennials.
What? Millennials?
Never heard of her.
What is a millennial?
So millennial is the late 80s, early 90s age group. Well, I guess mid 80s now that I'm thinking about it. So they're in their
80 to 2000. I obviously know what a millennial is.
Yeah. I was like, man, he's going to make me explain this.
A millennial is an age group of people that was before your parents and after your brothers and sisters. I don't know. Like that.
Yeah. Either way.
You track them. You look at that, and then, sorry to throw off your answer.
Yeah, so we look at the overall population. We look at the millennial population. Obviously, it's got to be the right fit as far as the commercial space. And, you know, this is something that our CEO, Doug, works on the most. He's our number cruncher. So he would give a much longer answer for me than I will. But we also look at, you know, we don't want to be in the Chicagos of the New Yorks of the world. We want to be in places where there will be as little competition as possible, and that still has a larger population with a need for space like ours for small and mid-sized businesses.